way open, but it's still down in the slot a little bit. Good? Grab your cylinder, load it, top down, bottom up, makes no difference. Slide that wedge down into the bottom. It makes no difference if you're going to connect the cylinder or tighten the band first or second. With this SCBA, the way everything lines up, you got two things to do. You want to adjust the cylinder band. Where should that cam locking system start to bite into place?
2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so keep adjusting it until you find that 2 to 3 o'clock position. The cylinder needs to be all the way nested down into that little wedge. Then you can go to your cylinder quick connect. Your quick connect just pushes on. To remove your quick connect, you're going to twist the gray collar and then pull it away from the cylinder valve. You've got to twist it and hold it twisted and then pull it off.
One more time.
Line it up, push it on. Now,
Twist it. Awesome.
all right, everybody listening, take your collar off. Take that gray quick connect off of the cylinder. And I want you to look at the spacing on the hose side and the cylinder side. So when you're looking at the spacing, there's a metal material that's here. There's no metal material on the back side of it. Right? Does that make sense? So if you're looking at it, there's no spacing metal material here, but there's a little bit of metal material right there. So you with me? Flat and flush, got a little metal material.
It's engaged.
Line up
So you
that
got
quick
the
connect
metal
and
material
push
here,
it
but not
on.
here now.
That gray collar moves forward 3/16 of an inch, and then it twists into place, and now you've got that metal exposed on the back side. These are those little visual cues to know if you've got that cylinder locked in the right position, correct? Excellent. Everybody got their cylinder? You good? Everybody got the cylinder? Tension was at 2, 3 o'clock. Cam lock is pushed into place. Quick connect is on. Roll the cylinder or roll the back frame over so the cylinder is on the ground. I want you to find the male end of your weight belt and take the battery out. If it's kind of hard to get there, make sure that the straps on the weight belt are extended as far as they can go. SCBA should be stored in the apparatus with the straps all the way stretched out, correct? Did I tell you to put the battery back in?
No. We gotta do push-ups. It's for the film. I think it's for the video.
film.
Oh, it's all about the film. Okay, everybody take a recess break. We gotta do the film. All right, look at the battery. See the contact points. Look around the outside of that contact point. What color is the O-ring? What?
There's one on the inside.
You're not, where are you seeing orange?
Inside? I got the very inside.
In there.
All right,
You're the wrong color. Yes.
oh, on the inside.
I don't see any orange in there. Way down.
Way on the
Way
inside. It's probably the glue.
inside. The glue. Yeah. That's not yours.
I want you to look down inside your back frame at those little pogo pins. Now do you see another O-ring down inside where those pogo pins are? What color is that O-ring?
Orange. Yeah.
So those little pins, if you push down on them with your fingernail, they kind of pop up and down. That is the area we absolutely must have you make sure there is no moisture water in those things, right? If there is, little air hose, blow it out, let it air dry, make sure those are clean and good to go. Okay, look at the battery again. You see the screws on the top, and then if you look at it from the side profile, you can kind of see that it's tapered a little bit, right? Okay, how often are you going to replace batteries when they're in the SC, and they're in the Excellent. Hey,
It's a reserve.
I want you to take the battery and install it, and I want you to grab your pass device and watch what happens on the display. Skinny side down. There you go. Grab your pass device, watch it. One of your daily checks, right? If we continue to watch this thing, what's going to happen to the pass alarm? You double tap your green button and turn it off. Tap, tap. Watch the display. Everybody turned off. I don't see any lights. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Speed up your guitar rhythm. Come on. Yeah, it goes through it. All right. Okay, everybody turned off? All right, so we took the battery out, we put the battery in. Take the waist belt now and lift it all the way up. Just getting hung up on that, buddy. Just kind of keep forcing it up and then it'll slide up. Just put that on that waist belt. If the waist belt is in the upper position, the battery does not go in or come out. It just kind of creates a little barrier or a block there. It doesn't give you the right angle. Alright, so adjust the waist belt where you think you might want to wear it. Whether you're a long torso or a short torso. Go ahead and stand up and we'll put the SCBAs on. So over your head, shoulder style, however it works. What's the first strap you're going to connect? Good and tight. What is the second connection? Shouldn't have to adjust it, because once that settles down, I mean you will, but now you adjust it. Third thing you're going to do is, how do they feel? Everybody do the wobble. It's got a swivel pivot mechanism in the back, should be nice and comfortable. Underneath your voice amplification on the left is that hook. So reach down and grab your mask and go ahead and hook that up to that. If your second stage regulator is dangling in the breeze, go ahead and snap that in the holster. Safety note, make sure the second stage is always maintained in that little holster on the waist belt. Keeps the dirt out, keeps it oriented, and it will prevent from getting slammed in the floor.
I'll do it all.
Feel good? All right, I'm not going to do it just yet, but I want you to take your right hand and reach back and just find the valve. That's probably in a slightly different position than your old SCBA that you were used to. So just do that a couple of times and at least find it. I didn't say open it, I just said find it.
Dang it.
Same person.
Push up.
It's me every time.
Dude, we just scored another touchdown. It's another 24 push-ups.
It's all right.
Okay, so go ahead and drain the air out and then turn it off. Double tap, tap, tap. Good? All right. Make sure the second stage is in the holster. Take your mask off the clip. I want you to just hold your hand in your mask in your right hand. Second stage comes out of the holster. Very carefully, just let it hang by your thigh. Left hand, all the way forward, fingers down. Reach down and grab that second stage regulator. Fingers down, thumb up. Grab the two gray buttons. Stretch it out, shoot the rabbit. Twist it into place. Pretend like you're putting it into your mask. Let it hang. Hand over the front. Reach down and grab it. Shoot the rabbit. Twist it into place. One more time. Let it hang. Hand over the front. Reach down, grab it. Shoot the rabbit. Twist it into place. Hand straight out in the front and drop it.
If you're tall, I'll drop it.
Put it in this holster now. Snap it into the holster. Same procedure. Hand forward, fingers down. Reach down and grab it. Might be in a different orientation. Stretch your hand forward. Twist it and put it in your mask. Right? Pretty simple drill, yes? Second stage, back in. Oh, before we do that, I want you to take your second stage. What happened when we pushed the gray button on the bottom? Take the bypass and close it. Everybody got it closed? Second stage, back in the holster. Reach back with your right hand and open the valve. It's going to get really noisy. If you hear an SCBA start to go into an alarm, it is you. It's not your neighbor, it is you. The motion sensor is your pass device. Move and shake that thing so that it stays quiet in here. What happens if you hear an alarm? All right, so how much air pressure do you have in your cylinder?
4385.
Okay, go ahead and don your mask. What straps do you do up first? What's second? What's third? Buddy with me? Hand forward. Reach down, grab the regulator. Stretch your hand forward. Snap it into place. This is going to take a couple of times. Take your pass device and look at the digital pressure. That's illuminated. If you can see the digital pressure, I want you to push the button again. What do you see? Haven't quite calculated my breathing time just yet, right? I want you to take your right hand and reach up and grab the bypass valve and very carefully start to open it. Get a little airflow going, and then turn it back, and then move your head around. Turn it all the way to the very end, and now move your head around. Should not be cracking open, so you can feel where that soft stop is going on, right? Look at your pressure gauge. How much air do you have digital? Push the gauge again. How much time do you have remaining?
99.
Starting to calculate your breathing rate. So the first number you're going to see is 99. Okay, I want you to line up. 2 lines. I want you to face somebody. Line up and face somebody.
That's good.
Somebody got a partner? Somebody got a partner? All right, we can do a threesome if we need to. Shuttle up. All right, everybody's got a partner, right? One of you raise your hand. With your hand raised, do a 180. Keep your hand up. Partner that does not have your hand up, close your partner's valve. Watch your pressure gauge. What's going to happen? How fast? I want you to pull on your buddy bender. Pull your buddy bender. Connect to the partner. Go.
Thanks, Steve.
Glad you got Steve.
Everybody connected? You just saved your partner. Reach back and open your valves.
I got check.
Go ahead and disconnect. If you hear an alarm, it's you. If you hear an alarm, it's you.
Yeah, please. Sorry, I said that, but didn't get it over here.
All right, everybody's back on air, correct?
How much?
On stage, nice. Look at your pressure gauge. How much air pressure do you have? Push the button, see if you have time remaining. Start to calculate, right? How much battery life does everybody have?
How much battery do you got?
There you go.
All right, so at this point, I'd like you to go ahead and take your mask, take the regulator out of your mask, take the mask off, close the valve, leave the air out, and put our SCBA back in the ground, take your mask off, get comfortable again. Yeah, but I want you to do, all right, you take your mask off. So the question is, what about the blue light that's on top of the buddy breather? You can go ahead and turn your SCBA off. So the blue light is just identifying that the Bluetooth or the speaker for your voice amplification is turned on. If you want to turn it off because you're going to Chief and say, dude, what time are we going golfing after we get this mess cleaned up? Push down and hold it down, and it will turn off. Now we can have a pretty normal conversation. If you want to turn it back on, just push it, and it will cycle right back on. So that's all the blue light's doing, is just letting you know the voice amp is working, the speaker is working. Okay, thanks for doing that. Great question. Find your spot, go ahead and take your SCBA off, put your mask. What are you going to do with the black cover? Put your mask back in the box, and I want you to stay in position for just a second. I got one more topic we need to cover.
Are you covering the radio?
Yes, I am. In fact, if you would stay and just kind of wear it. Buddy breather hoses are coiled and put back in, and you got the Velcro over and the snap's done up best you can.
Those like rolling snaps.
These are not. These are not so.
Just regular stuff, because in emergency ones.
All right. Kind of a fun little drill. What do you guys think about the buddy breather? Expecting it or not expecting it? Not expecting it. Kind of a moment of panic in a controlled environment, right? All of a sudden somebody's out of air. What do? So that's a drill. If you guys are going to deploy buddy breathers, you damn well better know how to use them and use them correctly and quickly. Right? So, suggestions for training in the future, good drill to train with buddy breathing. What questions did you come up with while you were wearing the SCBA? Anything pop up in your head? How did the voice amplification sound? Did you find yourself kind of breaking a seal and that wasn't working as good as it should? Anybody notice it? Probably didn't have a lot of chatter and conversation going on. So, the SCBA, when you go into it, you're working a scene and you've got your radios, I want you to think of using your radios exactly as you've been trained. Your radios are your life link to communication outside. Key up the radio and communicate, right? The SCBAs have a Bluetooth capability, and we've been turning these on, and Dane's going through the programming on these things. I'm going to reach behind me and grab my radios. So, these are just sample radios. These are not bouncing off the repeaters, so we can cuss and swear, and nobody's going to hear us but us in here. So,
one, channel one.
So these are just radios that have been, the Bluetooth component of these things have been turned on. So all your radios, the Bluetooth component is turned on. And we just have to go through a little bit of pairing process. So what Dane is doing is he's putting the radio into a discovery mode, and it's got, I don't know the appropriate term, I'm going to call it the IP address. So the radio all has a unique IP address. Dane is creating a key tag for each radio. So once he creates the IP address, that key tag, number one, matches my radio, number one. That's the programming side, right? The SCBA side of it is we need to take this key tag and tell my SCBA that it's going to communicate with this specific radio. So once this key tag is created for this radio, I'm going to take this key tag and I'm going to put my SCBA into a pairing mode. And I'm going to do it on the ground so you can see it a little easier. On the back of the SCBA, if we lift up the waist belt, maybe move it down easier. On the back of the SCBA, there is a little green bullet point. And if I take my SCBA and I grab my pass device and I press and hold a button and I identify my battery and I push the red button, it gives me an RFID signal and it's flashing yellow. Take my key tag, place it over the green, and my RFID signal changes to green. I have just programmed this radio through the key tag to pair up with this specific radio, right? When you come on shift, you're gonna have a key tag and it's gonna be on your bandolier, it's gonna be wrapped around your necklace. I don't know where you keep it, but don't lose it, right? You're gonna come on shift, you're gonna grab your SCBA, you're gonna say, how much pressure do I have in my cylinder? Then I'm gonna say, how much battery life do I have on my cylinder? I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to run it through its paces, I'm going to let that turn off. Then I'm going to say, I need to pair up my radio so I can utilize my Bluetooth. So I'm going to press and hold my button, I'm going to see my Bluetooth, my battery, and I'm going to push the red button and it will go to my RFID. Take that, lay it flat on the green bullet point right there, and it identified right there. So this is now programmed with this radio. If you work your shift and you go away and somebody else comes on and they've got a radio, they're going to go to their SCBA. Where'd you go? Press and hold the button. Hit the
red.
I'm going to reach back here.
Should be on the side.
Oh, yep. Press red button. Press the green button, see the battery. As soon as that pops up, let go, and then push the red button. Gives a yellow, turns red. Press and release, press and release. Press the red button. Let go, press and release. Timing. Boink, boink. Point, turn green, turn green. All right, this SCBA hasn't been turned on, correct? My radio hasn't been turned on. I'm going to turn my radio on. Go ahead and turn your SCBA on.
Zone 1, channel 1.
What's going to happen is the SCBA is going to be searching with Bluetooth, and it's going to say, oh, I see a radio out there. It wants to do a pair request, and I want to hit OK. I heard a connection, and then it said disconnected. The reason it's disconnected is because it's made that handshake, but he's not on positive air pressure, so he's not speaking through the microphones in his second stage regulator. But this is connected. If you would, put your mask on, and you're going to go on air. So if you listen to the tones, you'll start to hear what's going on with your radios, and you can see them kind of key up. Good and tight, reposition, good and tight. Go ahead and go right on air. Valves all the way open, shoot the rabbit, goes in. Now, what's going to happen is this is going to hear a click. Should hear a tone. Take a second. And there it goes. It said connected. So, take this radio and talk to me. Say, what's going on? Do a walk around.
What's up, Pete? I don't think he ain't holding my fire face.
Talk to him. Stop. Keep talking. Just have a communication back there.
Asking for a can report, Pete. Hold the microwave. You can still hear him even with the pass. That's pretty cool.
Take your mask off.
Put your underwear.
So, let's say you were in, you got the fire suppressed, and you come out, you take your mask off, you can still now just go back to normal radio operations. The point of this is, we're not changing anything you're doing with radios. We're just enhancing the fact that you don't have to pick up your radio and put it up by your face piece somewhere. You can just key it up. Now you can keep it maybe buried in your coat and key up that mic, and it's going to broadcast out, communicate the way you need to.
So how long does that RFID stay registered with you?
Excellent question. You can turn all that off and take it off. Great question, because here's the management side of this. Number one, you're going to have to program your SCBA with a key tag. Everybody comfortable with that? Press and hold a green button. You see the battery. Press and release the red button quickly. Tag the SCBA, and you should see the RFID go green. Once you've tagged it, you can put this back, keep it in a secure spot. Your radio is going to stay paired to that SCBA until somebody else pairs over the top of it.
So if nobody does does, then it stays under you indefinitely, or is there a time where it?
Nope, it'll just stay looking for your radio. Every time that SCBA turns on, it's gonna be sending out that single hand, whereas the handshake on the radio, and if it doesn't find it, it's just gonna use a little bit more battery energy to keep searching.
So is it connected to everyone individually through that, or connected to a radio?
So this is just using the program, the RFID, whatever address the radio has to program the SCBA. Once we use this and pair it up, it's the SCBA and the radio that are sending those Bluetooth handshakes back and forth. This has nothing to do with it other than the programming to make, you know, the IP address in there.
So those, technically those will stick with the radio. Right?
Yes, these will stay with your radio. So Dane right now is programming these for everybody's radio. So Rick, or sorry.
Is that mine?
Brent's gonna go ahead and clip that on his bandolier somewhere around the harness right there somewhere, and it's just gonna stay with his radio. So when he shows up, he's gonna tag his SCBA. Don't lose those things for $50.
Hey, Tom, question. If we replace the battery, does it reset the Bluetooth?
No,
Okay.
it'll still be looking for that radio. Good? All right.
Actually, two questions. The release back here, there's a little, is that just a manual release for your,
Yeah, it's just disassembling the hardware. You're not gonna undo that little
Okay.
flip. No reason to do that.
and then in the past, people have taken hoses and scrubbed these down, sprayed them with water. Is that a recommended way to clean them, or?
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna wash them down, scrub them down, soft brush, soap, water.
As long as the battery is in.
Wash it with the battery in place.
Okay.
Let it dry. If it drips some water in there, blow it out with a little air hose, change batteries all day long. Wash them and scrub them the same way you're doing your SCBAs today to decon, clean them up.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Soft brush, soap, water, clean them up. Done. Turn that thing off.